Alright, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a short sword blank. It's 3/8 EVA foam, 2 pounds. Let's see, overall length. Overall length is, if I can do this one-handed, it's like just at 31 inches, which by the time I add another inch down at the bottom, it'll be 32. Add an inch for about another for your pommel. Our game's max length for a short sword is 32 inches. I may lose a quarter inch or something like that off the top when I'm going to put the tip on it. Which our foam, our rubber stops there. You know, as we bend, I can feel that rubber, and that's going to give a lot more support. But it doesn't. It's not as hard there, so it gives us a nice thrusting tip while being a lot more supportive. A lot more supportive than what I was doing previously, which was just some, gap tape. Some gaff tape on it. I was putting like a 1/2 inch strip on both sides of my middle piece, which is not bad, and that's there to keep the foam from poking, the rod from poking out of the foam. But with that rubber on top of it, I think that's going to give it so much more support. So that was a great idea from Steven Sproul. They gave me that. So right now I got a blank. It's up to me at this point what to do. What I'm probably going to do is come over to my bandsaw, put it at a 45-degree angle, and cut me some edges. Well, actually, first I'm going to cut a tip, design and cut a tip, and then I'm going to put some bevels to it. Then I'll go over to the sander and clean it up, or hand sand it, depends on how bad it is. Usually my blades are, if I use the big one, it does a better job. It doesn't leave as much roughness to it. So, anywho, that's me to make blank. With me making videos, it took me just over an hour to make that. And that seems silly. That's a lot of it because there's a lot of drying time going on in there. That's, thinking about the sizes I want, cutting the foam, gathering materials. All that took about an hour to make this one blank and make these silly videos, which takes up time. I could probably do 3 of them at a time, maybe 4 of them at a time. I would have to clean my workspace off a lot more, but I could probably do 3 or 4 at a time and not really lose anything as far as not get too flustered, not get too far behind, or not really kind of outpace myself, as it were. I've done 5 once, and that was I felt like I was working a little too much at a pace. Like even though I can let the glue dry about as long as I want. That doesn't matter. It's just you feel like, hey, as soon as it's dry, I need to put it together. So what I'm gonna do now is just do a if I had a 2x4, or when I have a whole bunch of these, what I typically do is I get a board. One of my boards there, stack a whole bunch of them underneath it, and throw some weight on it and let it sit overnight. Now that is not necessary. That is overkill because I'm cautious. This that glue, cement glue, when it sits, it usually sits pretty strongly. But like I said, I'm just overly cautious. And I have time to kill. That's way overkill. I'm calling it a night for tonight, so there's no reason not to. So it won't hurt to squeeze a little bit more. It may get an air bubble or 2 out, even though I kind of rolled it. I massaged it as I was putting it together, kind of like I'm showing there. I was just work that air bubbles out. And of course, as I also couldn't show as it put it in. Let me show you kind of this. As I put my pieces on, I was telling on one of the videos that I lined the tips up But what I typically do is I line that up, make sure everything's nice and square, and then I just let it roll. Of course, I'm doing this one-handed, so I don't typically have my hand on the backside, but I'll let it roll. Just like I used to put my gaff tape on it, I'll let it roll and keep it nice and square and coming on down. Now, almost none of these, even though I cut it all with the same guide and everything, almost none of these are perfectly the same. Again, even though I'm cutting them at the same time, so you will end up with some overlap and stuff like that. That and depends on how much pressure you put on this foam. It does have a lot of give to it, a lot of elastic, so you can end up having offsets. Just my recommendation there is before you put your 45. This is kind of what I'm learning here. You can almost see I had some up and down. And I'm sanding this, hand sanding this a good bit, try to take some of it out. And you can see the waviness, and a lot of that was because I had waviness on the outside. My outside edge was not perfectly flat. And this was, again, this is a test product, testing out some new techniques. That did so great. Look how it blew out of it. Also, pro tip on that, don't use old paint or old glue. That was my problem, was my glue was too thick and it caught on my blade and completely ripped out in two different places a chunk of foam. That's where that is from. It just completely ripped out a chunk of foam. And that's from old glue. So do not let your glue grow old. Pro tip. I will make mistakes so you can learn from it. Alright guys, I'm calling it night, and but yeah, that's how I'm going to tie all these. I made a whole bunch of videos as I was going. I'm going to tie them all together, and that's how you make a weapon blank. So at that point you can do whatever you want to it. Just so in our game you have to maintain a certain distance, so whatever your game has to be. Our striking edge, which is going to be here, has to be 5/8. So as long as I can maintain that 5/8 striking edge, I'm okay. So as long as I can maintain that, I can take it down some more. So I got room to play with this if I wanted to come back. You know, so as long as the striking edge is 5/8, which is not really that thick. I like it thicker. This is about 2.5 inch wide blank. I've done 3 inches. I was comfortable, happy with the 3-inch wide blades. Kind of give it that nice Sparta look weapons. The glaive was kind of real wide. I like it. What I was gonna say there is you can, when you go do your groove, you can offset. So if you want a chopper, you want to make a katana. Of course, there's a lot more to it that's going to go into making a katana. But if you want to do a single edge blade, bring your rod back to here, and then let you have a single edge and let this be flat. Maybe put just a little bit of bevel, but not like that. Maybe just take the sharpness of the edge off, and then you can make a nice little chopper out of it, bite knife, whatever you desire. But you do not have to go dead center. Again, depends on what game you play, depends on what you're making for. Of course, if you're making it just cosplay, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can use floor mats. You don't have to use this. This is for safety. So this has a lot more give to it than the floor mat. Let me see. I have some right here. You know, that does not have as much give. Especially the different brands, this does not have as much give. I think this is a 3 poundage. I think that's what I've been told is floor mats are 3 pounds. I know you can't really tell the difference, but that's got a lot more give than this does. And when you're getting smacked around in the woods, I'd rather be hit with that. And you're gonna know it. You still know it. It's not open cell. It's not super soft. You're gonna know you're gonna hit, but that's super rigid there. I mean, that's hard. I mean, that's the whole point. You're supposed to walk on these all day long. They make great other stuff. make armor, make shields, make cross guards, make your pommels, you know, all that fun stuff. But the striking surfaces, you do want that to be a 2-pound or something softer than those floor mats. Again, depends on what your game. If your game's perfectly fine with it, rock and roll, that's the cheapest way to go. Because that is a hell of a lot cheaper than this 2-pound foam. Hell of a lot cheaper, all day long. Easy to get to. That's Harbor Freight Special right there, baby. All day long. So, alright. Alright guys, I've been out here too damn long, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and I'll let y'all later.